What is this?
Joined now by Hans Niemann and by his lawyer, Terence Oviv. So, first question, Hans, for you. Why have you got your lawyer with you?
Well, considering the recent case and settlement, some legal questions my lawyer might be able to better answer. And to be honest,
Bro, chat, I thought this was a cardboard cutout. This guy hasn't moved a muscle. Bro, this guy...
questions my lawyer might be able to better answer. And to be honest, Terry and his team has been frankly, great in helping me resolve this case, and I'm very, very thankful to them for believing in me. And this is not just he's not just my lawyer. He's a friend. He's a confidant, and he's someone who I trust fully. And
it's a legal bagel.
That's why he's here today.
Okay, so look, you are a chess prodigy, no question. You're a grandmaster, which you got that title into 17. You ranked the 4th best junior chess player in the world, so you're a brilliant chess player.
That is nice.
The question mark that got put over your head came after you beat Norway's world champion, Magnus Carlsen. This is back in Missouri in September 2022, man. So a year ago.
Yo, what kind of picture is that? Guys, what are they doing to my mans, dude? Jesus. Bro, they picked up from the back like he's got a hunchback, bruh. What the they did him dirty with this one.
And you beat him, ending a 53-game unbeaten streak. And as a result, you were accused of being a cheat. And you were accused of cheating in a particularly fascinating manner, which is the allegation was that your coach had basically instructed you to insert anal beads inside yourself, which he would then send remote signals to. First of all, when that story broke, those allegations, what was your reaction?
Well, obviously, it was very disheartening to be accused of cheating after that victory. But these things, it happened, and I learned a lot from that time, and it really has taught me a lot of very, very important lessons about life and chess. And I think it's only strengthened my resolve, and it's only motivated me, further. And it's shown me that, with the help of people like Terry, in life, it's really important to have people who help you, and that's.
It's not done, Jack. He said it happened because he said that the allegations had happened. Relax. Everybody settle down.
Why? Because of this, I've started a scholarship where I'm giving away $10,000 to talented chess players throughout the world. So, I think that when difficult things happen to you in life, you have to learn from them, and you have to, move forward, and you can't live in the past.
Okay, but just to be clear, you didn't cheat.
Of course not.
So what have you had to learn if you didn't?
Then
cheat?
he laughed.
Well, I think the learning experience was more so the media attacking me and all the chess world crashing down on me. I think dealing with that was a learning experience. Dealing with all that pressure and competing under all that pressure.
But again, to be clear, on the specific allegation, have you ever used anal beads while playing chess?
Oh man, come on, bro.
Not a question.
Yo, what? Yo, come on, dude. Yo, interviewer guy, settle down.
I never thought I'd ask a guest, to be honest, but...
Well, your curiosity is a bit concerning. Maybe you're personally interested, but I can tell you no.
Okay, categoric no.
Of course, yes, categorically no.
Look, I don't...
Wait, hold on. Is he saying that he both didn't use them on chess and off chess, or just on chess? Because otherwise, it kind of makes him like a vanilla Andy. Like, come on now, dude. You kind of explode. That's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At home, but
obviously I didn't make the allegation.
Maybe my curiosity is a bit overstepping here.
At the time, as a result of the furore that developed, you were investigated by chess.com. They banned you while they did this. And they published a report saying that you had likely cheated more than 100 times in online games. You then admitted you had cheated, I think, twice, you said, in online games on chess.com when you were 12 and 16, but denied ever doing so in an in-person game. Is that an accurate assessment of what went down?
That's correct.
Nah, guys. This is in chat. This is something that we call the reverse boost. Okay, believe it or not, it's highly unethical. Okay, but somebody who, let's say, plays League and is bronze player gets boosted to gold or plat, he will lose almost every game. But being in an environment where players are better, they will learn much faster than on the other end, and will end up actually climbing and being worth a higher rating much faster than if it played normally. At a rate that is like about 8, 9, 10x. It's pretty... 10x. 10x. It's gonna dank it. I'm not kidding about this. Because in the past, I also report I was a booster. I used to boost in League of Legends for monies because fuck it. And after that, I did coaching for monies. That was more ethical. But it is what it is.
So I guess the obvious question from that is, given you've admitted to cheating, is it completely outrageous that people thought you may have continued cheating?
Well, let me just clarify that the chess.com report where they, accused me of cheating over 100 games is completely defamatory. And, as outlined in my lawsuit, the person who actually wrote that report, Danny Wrench, told me himself that they knew that I had never cheated while streaming. And the most serious accusations in that report happened while I was streaming live on Twitch. And the only reason that they banned me, was because they were finalizing, a merger with the Play Magnus Group, and their new, star ambassador was making a mockery of himself, and they needed to back up his accusations and discredit me. So, Chess.com's report accusing me of 100 games of cheating is frankly ridiculous. And
you know what, chat? This kind of makes sense, chat. Guys, this kind of makes sense, chat. You got to get into credit, chat. Guys, the timing is definitely peculiars. It's definitely peculiars.
The timing that they decided to ban me.
Hey! He's copying my fucking speech.
Only during this merger and only after this accusation, it's absolutely ridiculous, and that report should not be taken seriously whatsoever.
But and also, Piers, it's important to note that it was a 51-page hit piece.
Right.
And at the end of those 51 pages, there was no evidence whatsoever that he cheated online. That was the accusation. That was what they had banned him from. That was what Magnus had stated. There was not a scintilla of evidence to support any of that, and there still isn't.
I understand, but,
but
just to be clear,
a scintilla.
Again,
classic.
Hans, when you did cheat, the ones you've admitted to, what were the circumstances?
Guys, in law, they use the scintilla of evidence as in like a hair, a dust. There's nothing. A scintilla is like it's like a legal a word to use for like anything at all.
For cheating.
Well, I was 12 years old. I was very young. It was not. It was in a tournament, but it was a childish mistake and something I've admit to. And I don't think that something you do when you're 12 and something with a couple $100 on the line should have any.
No, but how did you cheat?
Well,
you use a
Stockfish.
Stockfish
or chess monkey or double or use
a computer.
I'm just kidding.
It was like an iPad.
So someone was giving you moves from an iPad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was a very childish thing. I didn't even understand the seriousness of what was happening.
But then you were 16 and did it again.
So.
Was it the same thing again when you were 16?
Well, when I was 16, this was not a prize money event. These were random, meaningless games. It's like going to play Call of Duty and you.
Chat. I had heard that the games he played that were cheating online were like tournaments. They were not fully meaningless. That's what I heard back in the days. Maybe I'm wrong though.
It was a similar manner.
You see, so the first one you can put down to being a 12-year-old kid. All right.
Hey,
what's up, you learn your lesson, you move on. But to do it again 4 years later when you're 16, only like 4 years ago, why did you do it again?
Because he got away with it.
It was a.
Well, I think he got away with it. The fuck? Guys, this is what you have to stop it at the stem. Okay. If you cheat, and you never get away, you always get away with it. I mean, shit, bro. Might as well do it again. I mean, that's what the brain will think, right?
I saw used those games as meaningless, and they were meaningless. There was no money or anything attached to them, and again, it was a childish mistake. I was living on my own when I was 16. I was financially independent, and I felt a lot of pressure. I just simply wanted to.
Very important pause, chat. Very important pause, guys. There's only a few types of games, okay? there's meaningless and there's not meaningless, okay? From my understanding, he cheated in games that were not totally meaningless, which is why I kind of went at him a little bit hard last time, because if it's something is fully meaningless, it's like no ELO related, nothing, no tournament, no prize money, no standings, nobody's repping on the line. Because even a singular game where you lose ELO or lose rep because you lose to another player is meaningful. Whether it's a tournament, prize money, whatever, it's not meaningful. Unless it's a game that has no bearing at all, no ELO rated, and it's like a private game, then you can cheat all you want. I don't give a fuck. If anything, you could cheat on purpose in order to get better at the game because you're playing as a better opponent. Well, I guess you could do it against a computer, but what the fuck do I care? I'm just yapping.
Or get a higher rating on the website. But I want to make a differentiation, Piers. When you talk about online chess and in-person chess, this is a very, very different thing. And you need to understand the difference between that. These online games, these are absolutely meaningless. And some of the people who are accusing me, in these casual online games, some people are streaming. It's not. You need to really understand.
Here's the problem I have with it,
and the
Hans.
severity.
I don't like people that cheat in any form of competitional sport because to me, it just kills the integrity and purity of it. And I guess you would agree with that, right?
Well, I mean, bro. I'm not gonna make any comments. Well, of course, it's gonna mad people. Okay, whatever, dude. It's true, but
No, of course.
So,
But you should understand, the difference between when you're a young child and you're under severe pressure and you make a mistake. And you should also understand that when it comes to over-the-board official tournaments, I've never cheated, and there's absolutely no evidence that I've ever cheated.
but here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. I like I said, when you're
I'm not gonna defend him, but I think it's still kind of important to draw the line and at least separate the two events. Even if he was a known cheater online and they chose not to ban him for cheating all the way along, and then he doesn't cheat, as far as I can tell, in the overboard game, right? Using the other evidence to back up the fact that he won the new games is a little bit wrong. I think I don't agree with that. Morally, ethically, logistically, religiously, spiritually, I don't agree with it.
All right, I get it. But to do the same thing again when you're 16 shows there's a pattern. And we only actually have your word for it, right? I mean, there might not be hard evidence to have nailed you, but you can understand why people will be suspicious given your omissions. I mean, if I play with my village,
People's suspicions are irrelevant when you can prove and you can make an investigation. I think people's concerns are fucking irrelevant.
my village friends at
Sorry.
golf, there's a kind of integrity to the way we play, even though there's no money on the line. If one of them cheated at golf and I caught them, then I might give them a pass, although it would just be unthinkable they would do that. But if they did it again, I'd never play with them again.
Piers,
I don't think anybody gives a fuck. What?
so we understand Hans was 16 years old. He made a mistake. We understand that you have a different interpretation. He was playing online in a game that really didn't matter at a young age. We understand, and you're not wrong. But to try to extrapolate from the fact of something that he did on an online game when he was 16 and say, once a cheater, always a cheater. If you did something when you were 16, I'm going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. We think that's a little...
What, he did tappy strats? Oh, wait.
Then I might give them a pass, although it would just be unthinkable they would do that. But if they did it again, I'd never play with them again.
Dude, the tappy strats. Hey, yo! Tappy.
Piers, we understand Hans was 16 years old, but to try to extrapolate from the fact of something that he did on an online game when he was 16 and say, once a cheater, always a cheater. If you did something when you were 16, I'm going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. We think that's a little harsh, and it certainly doesn't properly characterize...
Out of interest, all right.
Well, I mean, you could say that, yeah, but the law in a lot of states won't agree with you on that basis. I think a lot of things people do if they're 16 will hold up, depending on the severity of the thing. I think in a thing like chess, that's the most severe is the cheating, right? Guys, I'm trying to make a reference to something else. I think the best you could do is find a system that's kind of like similar and try to make a comparison. I think that's as best as it gets when it comes to you make an argument. I'm using the law because, I mean, he has a lawyer one, but I'll tell you that. If you talk about punishments and getting caught and the morality of it, I think the worst you can do in chess would be cheating, okay? Therefore, if you're 16, you understand the extent of cheating and you shouldn't do it, and you definitely know what you're doing. So saying, oh, when you were a kid, you made a mistake, I don't think it's that harsh.
But why couldn't he answer that question?
I think he was trying to.
Well, no.
Well, he wasn't. You jumped in.
Sorry.
Yeah, Hans, I mean, it was really aimed at you. You understand my analogy, right? If people, if you cheat in a sport once, when you're
I
young,
understand, but let me. I can give you an analogy as well. So
yeah, tell him,
let's
man.
say that
Tell him, bro. Tell him, Hans.
16-year-old kid went into like a pickup basketball game. That is the equivalent of the games that I cheated in at 16 years old. Is the equivalent of a meaningless pickup basketball game. So let's say in a pickup basketball game, you did something. I don't know how that.
No, that's not true.
Whatever, you fouled, you didn't call a foul, or something like that. Let's say you did that in a pickup basketball game. Do you think that should define my entire career?
it's not
especially,
a foul, though. You're
with
using computerized.
Guys, when there's ELO involved, okay, your games are always rated. Therefore, every game you're playing is like a tryout. I'm sorry to say it, chat. It's the same thing, okay? When ELO is involved and a rating, you're always on the radar. You're always competing. That's what ELO is, guys. Some of the top players, their ELO it matters a lot, man. ELO is how they were rated.
Systems to
some way of I understand
to
that,
make
but
moves.
some way
I mean,
of
in
cheating,
chess, I can't think of a more egregious way of cheating than doing that. You're using a non-human brain to beat a human. I mean, it's just it's fragrant.
But he did not do that here. He did not do that here. Meaning, what he did back then, what he did about 5 years ago, and then about 10 years ago, you're correct. He's admitted that and he's apologized for that.
Yeah.
But that has absolutely nothing to do with what happened here. Nothing else could be closer to the truth. He played with integrity, he played with honesty, and he won that way.
So yesterday, I believe, you played Vladimir Kramnik on chess.com, and you beat him.
This is my last pause of the day. Okay, guys, listen. Here's the last. Guys, this is a good take. Okay, chat. This will be a good take. Okay, I swear. Okay. This is how the world works. If you're somebody, chat, who cheated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, this is every time you cheated, right? And then you go to a big tournament, right? And they know you've cheated this many times, right? And you are allowed to compete in settlement, and then you win. The person who's holding the tournament can't say, dude, you cheated because of all of this. They've agreed to let him play the tournament. They've agreed to let him in. They've made the decision to let him compete. Therefore, you cannot discredit his achievement or his win based on things you knew prior. That is the most bullshit thing to do. Guys, we can agree and disagree on a lot of the ethics, a lot of the morals, a lot of the whatever, a lot of the legal, a lot of the But this is how the world works. Otherwise, chat, it's like somebody does steroids 100 times in a boxing match, right? Then you invite him voluntarily to the big finals, right? And he claps you. You don't test him. You don't check for steroids. And you say, guys, sorry guys, this guy cheated. Because he did roids 100 times before. Okay, so you knew this guy did roids a bunch of times. Then you invited him and you didn't check after that, you didn't make any investigations. And then you're gonna call him out a cheater to discredit his achievement? That seems really fucking bad. That seems bad. It's bad. Because you know he's a cheater, or he's cheated, and you've forgiven him. So, because in life you need to choose whether you're going to forgive or you're going to not forgive. This is something that's very important, chat, also with friends. This is very important, okay, today. This is important, chat, with friends, with relationships, with family. You're going to be in positions sometimes in life where you're going to have to make a choice. Whether you forgive somebody or you don't forgive. Whether you choose one or the other is entirely up to you. But these things come with a price and a commitment. And what that is that you can't hold all the old stuff above them and hold it against them all the time when moving forward. It's very mentally damaging. It's not okay, it's not good, it doesn't help anybody. Because you could have not forgiven them if you wanted to. You chose to forgive them and to move forward. You don't get to falsify or to materialize your thoughts later on using the past as an example. It's really shitty. It's shitty. Therefore, I think it's really dumb for them to let him play in the tournament, scan him for beads or whatever, have him cleared to play, win, then say, guys, he cheated. And you want to know why? We think he cheated? Because he cheated before tournament. Okay. If you cared that much about cheating, then you shouldn't have invited him, and you shouldn't have let him play the tournament. Why would you let somebody play and win if when he wins, you're gonna give him nothing? It's really shit. It's why I didn't agree with the whole like Dylan fight with fucking Logan Paul. Him talking a lot of shit on Twitter and then saying, guys, he does roids. Okay, well, that's so shit. And now you make yourself in a position where if you win, you're a champion. If you lose, he cheated. That's boring.
Nick said afterwards, I've decided to stop playing on chess.com from tomorrow on. Just too many obvious cheaters on here, and nothing is done to clean the platform from these small crooks. Harsh words, but true. What did you make of that?
Well, the Krebnik situation is quite complex because I actually beat him about a week ago, and he made a video that was a bit confusing. But actually, a couple of days ago, I had private correspondence with him where he told me that he personally has no issue with me, and where he said that it was not meant to be an accusation whatsoever. So
what was it supposed to be?
I mean,
it couldn't have been a more
blatant
suggestion that you cheated again.
Well, that's because he a bitch ass. That's why this guy whoever's talking about it, dude, the guy cock guy, whatever the fuck. I think this guy's a bitch ass. He being a bitch ass. He's trying to do some subtweeting. He's trying to do some sly comments on the internet. Trying to get some cookie points. Trying to get some free jabs. And when he's confronted, he's pressed. He reels back like a turtle. That's some bitch ass move. I know people like that. I know people like that.
You know, the private correspondence and email that he sent to me. And
but why would he
actually invited
why would
me.
he infer you're a cheat in public in the way that he did? That was yesterday.
Stop, chat.
Well, my name was never mentioned. You know, he's accused a lot of people of cheating. He's accused. Yeah, but he played that same day. He played against 10 other people.
Right.
And considering that I was invited by him to Amsterdam to meet him and to play games with him, it seems a bit weird that he would do that, and then the next day supposedly accuse me of cheating. So, I understand that how it might look, but he's privately reached out to me, and I was invited to Amsterdam. I unfortunately can't go due to another conflict, but I hope to meet him and to discuss things in more detail with him.
Okay, you sued.
Something like that.
The real damage of this also, Piers, isn't that the real damage as well? So whenever now someone beats someone, rather than acknowledge it and say that I'll get better, now this has set a precedent that whenever someone beats you,
well, yeah,
instead
of course,
of trying
but
to make
Terence,
yourself better, you
unfortunately,
try to take it away from them.
Yes, but unfortunately, actions have consequences. If you admit you've cheated twice over a 4-year period, and you become a Grand Master the year after the second time, and you're now only 20 now, people are going to obviously cast aspersions.
Well, why do you focus on those 2 isolated incidents? Why don't you focus on all the hundreds of matches that he's won?
They're the 2 your clients admitted to.
Of course. But
he's right, guys. Lower guys right here. Guys, also, this Piers Morgan guy's wrong. You can have your suspicions if you want to. Whether you materialize them in public and you try to cause damage with them is not okay.
The matches that he's won are those totally meaningless. So you can always focus on the shade.
I don't know. I can only.
The majority.
I'm not judging your client. I'm just saying he's admitted to cheating twice over a 4-year period, and that's why maybe people are
in meaningless games. I
mean, people do wonder They do wonder how did you beat Magnus Carlsen
by playing chess.
Okay, well, if you want to take that logic, right? So I have proven my strength, right? Chess.com themselves have said that since they gave me a short ban before, they said that since then I have never cheated. So On their website, I've beaten some of the best players in the world. I've performed at the highest level on their website, which they themselves say that I didn't cheat in. In addition to that, in over-the-board tournaments, I have continued to play chess at a very, very high level. I have, my ranking did not just drop. I continued to play well even after this victory. I have proven my chess level and my chess strength time and time again. This is simply a case of where bullies are going after someone because they threaten their business interests.
So is
you
Magnus
should be
Carlsen
looking
a
at the
bully?
fact that, of course he's a bully. He used his entire empire. He used his connections to chess.com. He leveraged his, the fact that there's a merger happening.
Guys, even if he lost rating afterwards, chat, I don't think it matters a lot. Okay, I think you can make a lot of good arguments, like the fact that I think he was in like a bunch of lawsuits and shit like that. The whole world was against him, whatever. I think you can make an argument that there's been outside pressures that might have affected his time on the board and play. And then it's very reasonable. Okay, that's shit. Okay, that is actually shit. It's bullshit.
And he got
you can
all
at
these
least
people
give
to
that.
attack me. And it's a bully. It's a simple thing. But, I don't, let people bully me. I'm going to stand up to him, and I stood up to him. And, I look forward to competing him against the board again. And, I'm going to, do what I do best and prove myself.
Are you still
time and
suing
time
him?
again.
Are you still suing him for $100 million?
No.
You dropped that.
The case has been resolved.
Yeah. Did he?
Correct.
Did he pay any money or?
We can't discuss that.
Okay. Out of interest, how do you disprove that you've used anal beads to cheat?
I mean, how could I, disprove a negative? It's like,
Well, no, that's why I'm
how do
asking.
you expect me? But let's first all discuss that. That is not a serious theory. Okay, that was something that was taken out of context, and that was never a serious thing. That was something that the media caught up. But that was, if you look at the consensus among chess players, the consensus among experts, it is an unequivocal fact that I have never cheated in an over-the-board game. So I find,
Again, I'm
these
just
allegations
asking.
to
Yeah, but
be-
Hans,
to
I'm just
be-
wondering, how do you disprove it? I mean, were you strip searched? Did they explore cavities? Where do we go here?
He got one memed. Actually, one memed.
Well, through tournaments, there are security checks where they, will do.
Wait, did he say?
I mean, were you strip searched? Did they explore cavities? Where do we go here?
Well, through tournaments, there are security checks where they, will do, various security checks, metal detectors, different scanners.
Would that pick up anal beads? Do you know?
They-
Jesus, bro. Bro.
I don't know, Piers. I have no.
I'm genuinely
I-
curious.
You
I
should
have no
invite
idea.
them on your
I'm not-
show.
Chat, I think it would. Okay? I think a lot of the scanners, chat, detect, it's like density or something like that, right? So, things that are stacked, like bulges or whatever, right? So whenever you're walking through, a thing, right? And you have, a big object in your pocket, it'll pick something that's big and it's like stacked, right? Like a bulge, like a bulgy willy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, not metal. Chat, even metal detectors don't really detect. It's not really what they do. It's a bit complicated, but I did a little bit of research into what the fucking scanners do. Metal detectors, yes, do scan for metal. Yes, certain metals, and also it's the density. Yes, it's how dense it is. Oh, thanks, Nick. Thank you, man. Looks kind of nice. Chat. So why at the airport, when I go to the airport, believe it or not, even though I'm wearing a chain or something like that, or a watch or a bracelet or whatever, that are pretty big in density, they don't get picked up by the detector. What does though, believe it or not, chat, this right here, chat, this, when I go to the airport, I always undo this knot right here. I always undo it. Because this gets picked up by the detector and not the chains. I'm not kidding it. I am not kidding it. Because it's a little bit dense. Because it's a big stack.
You should invite them on your show and ask them that. It appears that's the main topic of your
it
curiosity,
wrong?
appears to be that, as opposed to the fact that you have a 19-year-old champion who defeated a champion, who defeated the whole world of chess in the largest cyberbullying case in history, the world of chess versus Hans Niemann. And he's here to talk about it, and he's still a victor. And instead of becoming bitter, he became better. and you want to ask him about the anal bead.
Damn. Hold up. Wait, he had this fucking quote in his back pocket.
Cyberbullying case in history, the world of chess versus Hans Niemann, and he's here to talk about it, and he's still a victor. And instead of becoming bitter, he became better. And you want to ask him about the anal bead, something he never said or never did. We don't know the answer to that question, Piers. Maybe you can ask the anal bead people. Have them on your show, and they can explain it to you better.
I think I will. It's
Jesus.
actually a fascinating. Listen, I loved.
The biggest cyberbullying case in the world, chat. You fucking heard it here first, boys. It's Hans against any cyber criminal, 1v1 billion. Actually fighting off the ghost, dude.
Chess. I was
Holy
my
Chad.
prep school
You
chess
seem to love
champion.
anal beads better, Piers.
Well, I was my prep school chess champion. I never cheated, right? So we have that. We're different, right?
Until somebody says that you did. Until somebody says
No,
that you did.
I was
Hans
chess
never cheated
champion
either.
age 12,
Hans never
actually. The
cheated
same
either.
age that your client cheated, I didn't cheat. Never crossed my mind. Would never have cheated at chess.
You're a better person. You're a better person.
Your words, not mine, Terence.
Oh, come on, lawyer guy.
I'm just- I'm-
Oh, come on, lawyer. Ah, dude. Chad, this lawyer was doing pretty good. Now you got pressed. Come on, bro. Come on.
Genuinely curious. It was a massive story, as you know. It's
Come
why
on,
you're
man.
famous outside of the chess world. It's because there was this allegation made, and it was fueled by the world champion who couldn't understand how, in normal circumstances, you would beat him. And then came this extraordinary...
Well, he's lost to many people of my same ranking many times. So this idea that it's a statistical anomaly, he can lose one game. And that's the issue, right? He lost to people similar age, similar rating, multiple times recently. So me beating him in a singular game is not a statistical anomaly, right? You know, chess, a lot of the top players are very, very good, and there's slim margins. So anything can happen in one game, and you know, considering my recent rise, it's not going to be the last time that I beat.
Yo, chat, guys. Chat, if Hans can be the villain, he's got to step it up a little bit. You got to look at the camera, make a pause, and just say, man, Magnus fell off. Just say it. Look at the camera, make a pause, and say, I'm going to be the first one to say it. Magnus fell off. Magnus is old plus L. And just move on.
He hasn't agreed to play you, as
It's what he's saying, but it's kind of softly.
I understand it. Is he...
Ratio.
Is he chickening out? What's the deal there?
No, he has agreed to play me. He put out a public statement that he will play
Right, but
against
there's
me.
no date, right?
So, well, when we are matched in a tournament, which is inevitable, we will play.
And will you allow yourself to be strip searched just to rule out any rumours?
Chat. He sent me a signal, guys. He told him to stop talking via the communicator.
Play.
And will you allow...
Which is inevitable. We will play.
And will you allow yourself to be strip searched just to rule out any rumours?
I find that question to be just, I can't take you seriously when you ask those questions, Piers. I'm sorry. Because you're entertaining, honestly, an allegation that should not even be taken seriously. Because it's purely, for you to get media attention. When this is, it's not even a serious thing. How can you, as a reporter, take that allegation seriously at all?
Well, I mean, listen, Elon Musk...
No, but I know...
The problem is, there are not a lot of theories on how he cheated. It's crazy that the anal beads is the most credible, one of the only options left on the table that it's taken seriously to the point where people tweeting about it.
Do you genuinely believe that? No, but do you actually believe that is the case?
I don't know.
Could you even
I
fathom a world?
I don't know. I know
where that
you're
is-
capable of cheating because you've admitted.
Yes, it's the most credible. Yes, it is. Because nobody's come up with a theory that is actually good on how he cheated. Therefore, the most credible one, even if it's crazy, is, guys, it is the most credible one. Because that's how low the standard currently is on the proof of how he cheated.
It?
Yes, I'm right. I'm right about this. I'm right. Yes,
You cheated
don't
twice
get me.
in a
Don't.
4-year
I've never
period?
cheated in an over-the-board game. I'm clearly not. I'm not capable, and I've never cheated in an over-the-board game.
But we only have your
let's
word
make
for that.
distinction
You
very
accept
clear.
that, right? We have your word.
An earpiece would have gotten picked up by the radar, by the scanner. He would have never risked having an earpiece at the match being caught on camera, being caught by the scanner. No way he would have fucking tried that. He would have done that. No way in hell.
My word, it's unequivocal. Chess.com themselves said that.
Right.
It is an unequivocal statistical fact that I have never cheated in an over-the-board game. And that is something you cannot debate.
Elon Musk, as you know, tweeted on what was known as Twitter, then is now X. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one can see because it's in your butt. What did you feel when you read that?
That's not a good one. That's pretty bad.
Well, I was a bit surprised. You know, I was surprised. You know, I didn't really think much of it. You know, I focus on competing, and I don't let these things affect me. And my goal is to become the best chess player in the world and to give back to chess players.
I mean, guys. Piers normally is a decent interviewer, but he says there's no proof that I cheat over the board, and his rebuttal is
be completely
Elon Musk tweeted this one joke.
All around the world, and I think that chess is a beautiful game that should be spread, and that's why I intend to do a lot more charity work and give back to the communities who helped me.
Do you think when you play Magnus Carlsen again, you'll kick his butt, for want of a better phrase?
What is it?
Do you think when you play Magnus Carlsen again, you'll kick his butt, for want of a better phrase?
Well, actually, don't kick it. Don't kick it too much.
Hans
I
Niemann.
mean, dude,
and Terry.
don't kick it too hard because if he has his own beads, shit, dude. Jesus, man, he might make the plug go in.
That's your lawyer.
Christ,
Thank you both very much
that would
indeed.
be tough.
Thank you.
My God. Okay. Anyway, that was interesting of an interview, chat. Guys, that was an interview that was very interesting. I kind of enjoyed that, actually. Entertaining.